back. This must be the last chapter. We're very close to it. We have to destroy the engine. I must destroy the engine. I see a journal entry. Counterattack. I've returned, an angel of vengeance, a saboteur once more. I will find a way to stop this vast enterprise of slaughter. Enough destruction opened the heart before, confused the machine enough to spring its locks and secret doorways. I must cause it great shock, stab its eyes, poke hot wire into its ears, hammer it to its teeth, and push glass into every orifice. Then it will gasp and gat, and then, oh my god, Matt. Then it will gasp, and in that gasp, I will scuttle into its throat and stab its heart from inside. It's quite loud in here. October 25th, 1899. No machine blades for Fatty Bishop and Gluttony Harris. Prime cuts for all the sorting pins. And the very best, as always, back in the dumbwaiter to the kitchens above, to be stewed, plumped, and graved, and breadcrumbed, and returned to the table for the next night's feast. And not every night, you see, although we have begun to increase the frequency of the final act. Unlike the poor, the rich will be missed, given time. But we will continue to spoil and ready them. Our fine foods are now exported to mansions and lodges across London, and it has been noted in the times of late how rather overweight and great the good are becoming. With their diets of fine wine and rich meat, indeed, in Punch just last week, a cartoon showed Viscount Selwyn as a stuffed pig laid upon a platter for his peers to dine upon. A vicious and cowardly slander, no doubt, but he tasted delicious. Okay. Danger. Compound X. No naked flames. No unshielded electrics. At the spark plug. This electrification must be lethal to the touch. Now to confound the machine and flood the system. This time not with sewage, but boiling, sparking liquid death. I have to go down there, aren't I? Oops, didn't mean to do that. I didn't think this door would actually open.
But will they be free?
Yes, my friend. Drained and bled and freed from the prison of the flesh. Free to ascend as smoke to the stars.
And the good? The worthy? How will we save them?
Show me these worthy, Mandus. Show me these good. I do not see them.
Line Central Operation. Coolant tanks. Coolant pumps. I sense an opportunity in my first strike. Impeding these cogs with a large enough object should jam the flow of coolant, causing the pressure to build up that will split the pipes and rupture the tanks. I gotta push one of these barrels in there. Danger. Compound rings. No naked flames. No windshield weapons. Alright, well, I ought to do something. I don't have to go in there, do I? Let's go back down there. Let's just make extra sure I don't have to go down here. Yeah, it's fouled up. Okay. You know, I was thinking this earlier. You'd think that Mandus would want to climb up a ladder a little bit faster when a pig is coming after him. I was thinking that when I was going back into those pipes, you know? Trippery. I can't get through either of these doors, which leads me to believe that I gotta go where that pig fucker is. Yeah. Let me just make sure that what these doors is broken. Well, there's no button for that one, but there's the button over there is broken, so yeah. I'm gonna assume I gotta go this way. Oh, I did something. I've killed him, okay. But presumably it'll also kill me if I land in it. So. Coolant pumps are down. Spark plug. I'm just clicking buttons.
I know you, machine. I know what you fear. I will rain excrement into your very soul. I will destroy you.
You are too late, Mandus. My great works are almost begun.
Trippery opened. Trippery is opened, and so is this, whatever this is. October 27th, 1899. And waste not, want not, for here the assorted slop and innards are sifted and sorted and enter the world through more channels and means than one could possibly conceive. The product passes by this section of the engine and is driven through the blade, splitting it into two sections ready for the butcher's block, and in the interim it is kept in our freezer bays under the house, and the heat produced naturally by the refrigeration process feeds into the pipes in the crannies of these rooms, and is the very reason, my dear friend, that we can sit here in shirts and waistcoats but no jackets, on a freezing winter's night, without a fire in the grate, and discuss our great enterprise. The warmth in our bellies and toes may be attributed directly to those bellies and toes even now passing through steam, fire, and blade beneath our feet. December 2nd, 1899. Walking away from those temples, that small pile of stones under the rhododendrons, the skulls of innocents under the loose clod, headless rib cages in the cool stone beneath the altars, 3,000 miles apart. I trace back my life to this instance. Rain channels eroded in ancient stone. The toxins are already in this damp, this falling water. I hack and retch and vomit into the sink and grasp the bowl with both hands and stare. There in the plug hole is, as clear as day, a toy spine, clockwork and intricate, like a child's spine, but clockwork. How could that be? How could a child's spine be made of clockwork? I washed it carefully and placed it on the mantelpiece, by the egg I laid myself, under the garden where the children's skulls are buried. I call it my Mexico. The path to the trippery. It is critically injured now, I am sure of that. It jeers no more. I feel it shudder around me, a wounded animal pressed flat to the ground. I feel it is afraid of me, and I hate it all the more, as I hate myself for unleashing it. My head pounds with blood, my teeth vibrate. I retch and burn with fever. I am an angel of death, descending to smother the firstborn for the death of the two that came after.
I am here again, at the foot of those stairs, towards the red light of the nursery, sunset in the window like a bleeding sky, the horizon a slit throat, the seeping dark to drain the guilt from us. I am the jaguar-faced man. I am the feathered serpent. This priesthood is mine.
I can meet him, your great engineer. How marvelous. I must say, Mr. Manders, my excitement is almost unseemly.
Yes, I can see that. Step this way, Professor. I will be right behind you.
Manders? Manders, where the devil are you? I can't see a damn thing. Manders!
We are the pig, Professor. We are all the pig.
Well, that's creepy as fuck.
I climb in stillness now. Blue water runs in my veins, now I am clean. I carry the knife of this factory, the bowl of this mill. I am come to collect you from your fields and your furnaces. I will gather you into the white clouds. I will gather you to me, and I will take you home.
What in the holy fucking shit is this? I have to be imagining this at this point. The veil lifts, the bride is waiting. The man eats the pig, and the pig is eaten by the machine. The man is eaten by the machine. This is as it ever will be.
Hear me, Mandus. My gears are adjust. My steam is built. Soon I will spill that blue water and split the egg, the atom, my soul, and there will be a very great burning that we might make the world clean. Be proud, for this is your doing. Until you steeped me in the blood of your own, I was nothing but rotten architecture. You have made me, and I will make the world anew.
December 1899. If you should find this, then you already know all I would tell you. You already know what you have done, and what you must do now. Walking away from those temples, that small pile of stones beneath the rhododendrons, the skulls of innocents under those loose-clawed, headless rib cages, cruelty torn asunder to expose their flowers in the cool stone behind the altars 3,000 miles away. I traced my life to this instant, rain channels eroded in ancient stone. The toxins are already in this damp, this falling water. And in that instant, cradling my children's heads in my palms, I knew then I had to unbuild what I myself had constructed. Though even then it was a little more than a sickening dream. This machine is ever mine, and it falls to me to redeem it and myself. This must be the end of the game, right? I feel like we've peaked. In my dreams, I walk with my children. I walk tunnels where no human has trod before. I am sure of that. It is just me and him now. Frost forms on my coat sleeves, the deathly still, and the freezing air tell me I am close. Vacuum eviscerators.
But why did you take my children?
Aye, Mandus. Of all the blood we have spilled together, the first drops fell from your hands alone.
Then I am damned for a filicide, and everything is lost.
The fuck is that sound? That doesn't sound pleasant. Mandis Processing Company, Oregon Distribution takes maintenance access. Which way am I supposed to go? Gambrilling. Jesus, how much more do I have to do? I feel like this game should be over. What in the fuck are these tanks? What the fuck is in these tanks? What the hell? Well, that was worrying. What in the hell was that fucking thing? What was the point of this? Oh, hey, there's a door here. Okay. South Tower. Electrogravitic suppression. What in the fuck? What did I build down here? This is getting crazier and crazier as I go down. Mandis descending amongst the spirits. The Aztecs believed they could avert the apocalypse through sacrifice. History tells us they failed. Their tragedy was simply that they could not spill enough blood in time.
Only to save you. Only to spare you. I would have given my soul to spare you this world and its loan. Oh, my children. My children. What have I done? What have I become?
Greed.
I will put it right, my darlings. All of my wrongs will be righted. All of my sins washed clean.
How on earth did I ever build this fucking thing? December 28th, 1899. Memories. They surface like bloated bodies rising to the scum of the Thames. I looked at them, covered in blood of their dead mother. Little piglets squalling in their swaddling, and my heart at once was filled with a great love and a consuming hate I could never have imagined. At that point did my soul split, creating him. Was this the egg of my soul, the moment the great clock began to tick? Is the only path to redemption to join us together again, to make myself whole? to close the great circle and take that madman into my heart once more, and forgive him, and myself as well.
I love you, my darlings, and I am sorry. I am sorry for all I have done. I simply loved you all too much for this world.
Don't act like you did this for your kids, Mandus. Mandus is alone. I search for instruction, for advice, for help in my goals, but in return the system mocks me. Simpleton, it says, you must find your own answers now.
Mandus, put aside your misguided crusade and let me save them. You may hate me, Mandus, but I have seen the future, your 20th century, and let me tell you this, a far greater slaughter awaits you there. I seek to save the world by blood now, before millions fall beneath history, pushed under by blade, bullet, and gas.
Run. Yeah. Just run. What? Is this a fucking heart? What the hell? Weird. What am I supposed to do? Must have to do something about this heart, right? Turn the light off. Did I soft lock the fucking game again? What am I supposed to fucking do? I can't go anywhere. Oh. There's a ladder. What the fuck is this thing? The guy's losing it.
I have you now, creature. I will destroy you.
Stop him! Stop him! Kill him!
It is over. It is time to end this madness. Oh, God help me. I am lost in the giant paper soul of the world.
Enoch, Edwin, Oswald, and I. Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. The fucking game crashed. Hold on. I'll pause. Okay, the fucking game crashed,
I would have given my
and
soul
we're
to
back
spare
here at the
you
beginning of this
world
fucking
and its
chapter.
load.
You have got to be fucking shitting me. Okay, I'm just gonna pause and I'll bring you guys back when I get to the where I was, unless it crashes again, in which case, fuck this. Okay, I'm back, and we made it back, and it didn't crash, so
Listen to your heart.
we get to finish the
You
game.
know you are with me. You created me to save the world. I am your friend.
Whoa. Is his mouth open in there? Is that me? Or is this like my alter ego or something?
Mandus, please, I am no more evil than you. We sought the same thing, to save humanity, ridding them of their painful, stupid, pointless lives. Mandus, stop. Think about what you are doing. For your children, Mandus.
Do not speak of my children, monster.
I did not kill your children, Mandus. You sacrificed them on the temple steps, knowing what the coming century will do to them. Your sons will drown, lungs full of mud and shrapnel, on the banks of the Somme. You wanted to save them from the horror to come. That is the vision we share. Everything we have built to avert this coming nightmare. You and I are one. We are the same. Our souls are entangled. We deserve to make them free.
And so we come to the end, I believe. Oh, wow. That is a really cool image.
I have stood knee-deep in mud and bone and filled my lungs with mustard gas. I have seen 2 brothers fall. I have lain with holy wars and copulated with the autumnal fallout. I have dug trenches for the refugees. I have murdered dissidents where the ground never thaws and starved the masses into faith. A child's shadow burnt into the brickwork. A house of skulls in the jungle. The innocent Mandus trod and bled and gassed and starved and beaten and murdered and enslaved. This is your coming century. They will eat the Mandus. They will make pigs of you all, and they will bury their snouts into your ribs, and they will eat your hearts.
I gotta say, this is a good ending. I like this ending so far. Of course, I'll talk about it more when the game's over. Oh, cool. I didn't realize the fish island's coming up.
Please, Mandus, no. For your children.
end it. So Mandus built his factory around this temple that he found underneath London.
I lay there
I guess.
and watched the god I had created die. At the end, when we were cold as the stone we had hewn his body from, when the lights were nearly all extinguished, we heard, in the silent distance, the man-pigs singing to one another. Then, as the last lights were gone, and we lay together in the deep, they drifted away, and all was silent. Such a silence I have never known. And as the dust settled on my open eyes, and we lay together embraced forever, I heard, miles above us, the sounds of the city turning over in its sleep. A church bell ringing out, and in that moment, the new century was born.
And that's the end. You know, oh, is there more? Hold on, I don't want to talk if there's going to be more. It might just be music. I'm going to talk until there's someone starts talking. So, I'm kind of mixed on this one, honestly. Is it as good as Amnesia: The Dark Descent? That is a really good question, and I think that it's not as cut and dry as people want to make it out to be. I know that when this game initially released, that it released to some really middling reviews, and a lot of the people that really enjoyed The Dark Descent did not like this game. And I gotta be honest, I understand why. There are some very clear things, there's some really obvious things that make this one lesser of a game overall. And I think I know why. I could be wrong about this, but my gut feeling is that this game was released on the computer, the PC, and on consoles when it was released. And so, as a result, the developers had to dumb down the gameplay loop for console players, or maybe not dumb down, but simplify it for console players. So they got rid of the insanity mechanic, and they got rid of the oil mechanic for the with the flashlight. They even do. Sorry, I was yawning. They didn't even do like a battery source for the flashlight in this game. And so I assume that a lot of the people that liked the first game got mad because those like kind of hardcore-esque systems were not included in this game when they were included in the first game. And so as a result, it's kind of a down, like a step down from what the first game came from. It also doesn't look as good as the first game from what I'm remembering. There's something about these graphics that it's like more cartoony than the first game was. It's the only way I can describe it. I will say that this game did have some really breathtaking moments, like visuals, like when the first time you're going down the elevator and you see the heart of the machine, and then right at the end when you see the pyramid that Mandus built this entire factory around. Okay, hold on. The thing's ending, so I just want to make sure I'm not talking over anything. So just give me a sec. The end. Okay, now we're back to the title screen. I'm gonna turn the sound down so that I can talk and not be interrupted. So I was saying that this game has a lot has while the game I think overall looks worse than Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I don't know. And again, the only thing I can think of is that it just looks a little bit more cartoony than The Dark Descent. There were nevertheless some times with some awe-inspiring visuals, and I mentioned the heart of the machine and the right at the end. I can't really think of anything more, although I will give this game this, and I said this earlier when I was playing. Every single new area is very unique. Far more unique than the Dark Descent was. The Dark Descent was all set in a medieval estate, or kind of like a castle-esque area. And so everywhere except for maybe that sewer area towards the end of the game was kind of samey. Whereas here, I mean, you start out in a mansion, you end up in like an office complex, even though it seems like you're underground. Then it seems like you kind of go into like a submarine looking area. The factory areas are all unique looking. The ending area is very unique looking. It's very Diluvian, very H.P. Lovecraft inspired seemingly. So I got to give the game props that while the graphically it looks, I think, objectively worse than Amnesia: The Dark Descent, it looks better. The art style kind of saves it. Another thing I noticed that they kind of took out of the first game is there are hardly any physics objects. The physics objects in this game are a few drawers, key items, and for some reason chairs. I don't know. This game loves letting you fuck around with chairs, even though chairs are not a thing that you need to use at any point in time. And as and so like I don't get why they put all these locks on doors and like dresser drawers and desk drawers. Just let us open them, and if there's nothing in them, there's nothing in them. Like every single desk drawer and every single door was interactable in Amnesia: The Dark Descent. And I will say that towards the end of the game, they kind of went back to that. I don't really get why the whole first half of the game there are locks on everything, so you can't interact with anything. Um, and then towards the end of the game, they kind of go back on that, and everything is interactable seemingly. Doors that like I would feel like were normally locked at the beginning of the game are not locked, but interactable, but actually locked, if that makes sense. Why didn't they just do that for the whole first part of the game? I just don't get. Um, I will say that I do kind of like that the flashlight is unlimited in the game. The reason why is because inherently I am a person that likes to explore in these games. So one of the biggest pet peeves I had with Amnesia: The Dark Descent was that it felt like I was getting punished for exploring, punished for trying to uncover the lore of that game because I would lose my uh, lantern oil and I'd be stuck in the dark and going insane. And while the insanity mechanic in the first game was kind of okay, I'll be honest. I really don't think the insanity mechanic of the Dark Descent had any bearing on the game. I didn't experience a single instance where my guy went crazy and something bad happened to me. I mean, I guess the worst it gets is that you kind of lose control of your character. Everything's laggy. The input lag is increased. But otherwise, it really didn't do anything. And so I think it was a little pointless. And so as a result, I don't really care that the insanity mechanic's not in this one. Um, it I guess I understand where people are coming from, but to me, to people that like to explore, that like to find all the lore, which I tried to find all the lore, I doubt I found all of it in this game, but I like having the freedom to. I don't want to be punished for wanting to learn more about the game. And in Amnesia: The Dark Descent, I felt like I was punished every single time I wanted to go look at something that didn't need to be looked at. So, um, let's talk about the story. I honestly think the story of A Machine for Pigs is better than The Dark Descent. Um, it seems like there are greater stakes at issue in Machine for Pigs. You know, essentially, Mandus has created this army of pigmen, and for some reason, well, he hates humanity. He thinks humanity are swine, basically. So he wants to unleash his swine-like army on the rest of London, I guess. I like that there are greater stakes in this game than the first one. The first one just seemed like Daniel was just trying to save himself, and stop Alexander from going back to whatever world he was from. In this game, there is more depth in a way. Mandus is the saboteur from the get-go, but he also has this alter ego that he's fighting against that wants to destroy the world. It seems like he intentionally gave himself amnesia to sabotage the machine for pigs, uh, but then he doesn't know what he's doing, so he's unintentionally activating the machine again. I just like that fight between alter egos. One person wants to destroy the world, the other person wants to not. He just wants to save his kids. And I'll grant anybody that using kids is a little bit of a cop out. It's easy. I will say I have a daughter, so it lands a little bit better with me. Um, do I have anything else to say? In the end, well, I think it's a little bit more of a shallow game. I actually think I enjoyed Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs more than I liked Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I think people will say that, there's no danger in A Machine for Pigs, and I think that's kind of true to a certain extent. I mean, you'll see towards the end of the game I was just running past stuff because they don't one-shot you. So once you realize you don't get one shot and that things are a little bit slower than you, or they react slower than you do otherwise, um, you can really kind of just run past everything and not really give a shit. I think I died once in the game, but I feel like it was intentional, but I don't know for a fact. Um, and if people want to say that Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs is more simplified because of that, as opposed to The Dark Descent, I mean, really think about it. In The Dark Descent, at least for the first half of the game and for the majority of the game, every single enemy you run into just despawns after a couple minutes, after a couple seconds. I can only remember like 2 or 3 sections where the thing did not despawn in that whole game. Whereas here, things despawn. Like I found one monster despawn in the whole game. Otherwise, every monster that you run into, while there are not many, will kill you if given the chance. So they kind of balance out difficulty-wise. I've seen people call Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs like a walking simulator. I don't think it's a walking simulator because you can die and there are dangers. There's just not very many of them. Um, so, I, yeah, I think Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs, in my opinion at least, is a better game overall than The Dark Descent. Not to say that The Dark Descent is not a good game. I enjoyed that game. I just think that while it's a more simplified version of Amnesia, this game, while it looks a little bit worse and while it's more simplified, I think it's more cohesive in the end. And with that statement, I want to let everybody know that I'm really happy that everybody watched. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. I hope I was entertaining during it. Um, I'm not the greatest orator of all time. I try to give you guys engaging content, and I really appreciate anybody watching this far. And I hope you guys join me for the next game, which I don't know what it's going to be yet, but we'll figure it out. So, with that said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.